We're back again with Coach Puckhaver for our weekly conversation. Coach, low-scoring game last week. Talk about how important it was to play a close game like that.
I mean, as a coach, you always want to know what your team's going to do when they start to face a little adversity, where everything doesn't go easy, especially when we have had the start that we've had this year. I think 0-0 at halftime, you got to see some of the players in the team, instead of getting on each other, trying to motivate each other and tell them, like, hey, we got this, you got it, you're going to get it, which is really great to see. And then to have them play the way they did, end the game the way they were, with the defense coming up with a big stop after having an injury and having to put somebody else out there that wasn't an ideal spot, but he made play, and then also having an opportunity for the offense to go out there and have a chance to run the ball out and to finish the game strong. And they did that, and that was great to see because the odds were stacked against them in the performance of what they had throughout that course of that game. Didn't say that was going to happen, but for them to make it happen like they did, it's ideal.
Union College is up next, and even though they're near the bottom of the rankings again this year in the Liberty League, they're a much improved team. What can we expect from the Dutchmen?
I think they're probably going to be one of the best right now, a 2-5 football team. They got to be one of the best 2-5 football teams in the country. They're +9 in the turnover ratio, which means they're not beating themselves in games. They're strong on special teams. They run the ball very efficiently and effectively. They've had some quarterbacks changing. I think they've played a couple kids. They lost one kid in camp, so they're playing some guys that are just getting better every week. They've played every game tough, so I don't expect that to change at all this week. For us, they're not going to come in and lay down for us. That's not what Union does. But I also think that they're a team that is going to match up, and they're going to put more people in the box, and they're going to try to stop the run or do as much as they can to run the ball, which is a good matchup for our defense. But it's going to be another great challenge because it's a different style of offense after spending the last 2 weeks getting prepared for the triple option.
After Union, it's the big showdown with Hobart that everybody's talking about. Talk about the challenges of keeping the team focused on one game at a time.
I think and the schedule comes out, the guys know where that game is, just because of this group of seniors. It's the only team in the league they've never beaten. So they don't have to really look for that game. They know where it is. It's week 9. It's going to be up here at our place this year. The guys bought in early when we started league play, the 0-0 with 1 to go, and they've ran with it. I mean, you hear them talking about it in interviews now, which means that they're listening. And they're starting to repeat the same stuff we are, which hopefully they're picking that up and what they're going to repeat for me, not some of the other stuff that I say. So it was good to hear that, but I just hope that our guys understand that this Union team is a good quality unit, and it'll make their year to come up here and to ruin our homecoming.
Defense leads the nation in a very important category of points allowed per game.
Yes.
Not only leads the nation in Division III, but all divisions. They're the best team in the country. What goes into achieving a kind of a statistic like that?
Great players. I mean, you need that. You need to have guys that can play. And then when those guys are on the field playing, they play really well together. Offensively, you also need to give them a chance to do that, which means you're winning the field position battle. And we just broke that down last week where we're winning the field position in games by 20 to 25 yards a game. Last week alone, we had 4 punts down inside the 20. And I mean, just when you're able to do that kind of stuff, makes it really hard on offenses. And then it comes down to, I think, a great amount of ability of the coaches to put the right people in the right spots, and asking the right guys to do the same job, to do their job for them that week. And we've had some injuries on that unit. We've had guys move around, yet the results have been the same. 4 shutouts in 7 games is remarkable.
This week, Hall of Fame weekend, several members of the 1982 team that was undefeated in the regular season, semifinalists in the NCAA tournament, they're back this week to be inducted into the Hall. How important was the success of that team and others in the history of SLU football for the development of this year's team?
I think that team, with what they did in the regular season and going win a playoff game, is what the bar is set for this group this year. It can be done here. I mean, it's one of those things when you're at a school that maybe has never been won a league championship before, maybe never had a perfect season, or maybe never won a playoff game before. You're trying to do something, you're in uncharted waters. Well, we've had that, and that 82 team did it. And there's some similarities between that team and this team. That's why there's, I think, 4 players or 5 players going in from that team into this year's Hall of Fame. Well, there's going to be 4 or 5 players on this team that are going to, I think, potentially be Hall of Fame players. So it comes down to having that great players. But at the same point, it's always nice to talk about tradition. It's always nice for those guys to be able to come back and for our guys to meet those guys, because in 1982, those guys were what our guys are right now. There's guys that are going to class, trying to get a quality education, and while they're here, win some football games.
Coach, thanks very much. Good luck against Union. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Kelly.